All right, guys, we'll get started here in a couple of minutes. I see some people are joining right now. Welcome. Hello, everyone, as you're joining. Thanks for excited to get started. We're going to give everybody maybe another minute or so, and then we'll get started. All right, for time purposes, let's get started. As you guys trickle in, that's great. But I want to first say welcome. Thanks for joining, everyone. My name is Marcia from here at Season Health. We are going to be talking today about unlocking success, how to stay committed to a healthy lifestyle. So I want to start out with two famous quotes. If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. And a good plan is like a roadmap. It shows the final destination and usually the best way to get there. It's likely that these two quotes probably are not referring to healthy habits, but their words still apply here today. So whether you are starting your journey to healthy habits or gearing ahead for the winter season or holiday season, having a plan and sticking to the plan is essential to achieving your goals. So welcome. My name is Marcia Schultz, and I have a background as a registered dietitian and a certified diabetes care and education specialist. So today, we are going to learn tips and tricks on how to set yourself up for success when it comes to nutrition and fitness. As you can see, we're going to start talking about nutrition strategies, and then we are going to pivot and get into how to set yourself up for success around fitness. And lastly, we'll talk about follow through and setting those SMART goals. And then at the end, there is going to be time for Q&A. So before we get started, for those who may not be familiar with Season Health, Season offers personalized nutrition programs to help you learn to eat healthier without giving up those delicious foods that you love. We provide virtual visits with a registered dietitian like myself, and we provide tips and guidance on nutrition. We help you navigate chronic conditions. We help with cooking and provide thousands of chef-curated recipes and affordable pre-made meals to help stay on track. So we are going to do a couple of poll questions for today. Don't worry, there's not too many of them. But first, which of the following is an example of planning ahead? I am going to launch the poll question. Is it, I hope to sit down and meal plan? I am going to the gym on Tuesday and Thursday this week before work. Or C, I'm going to do my best to eat veggies. Take a second and put your questions into the poll. Okay, great. I'm going to end the poll and share the results. So the answer, if you did pick it, is B. I'm going to the gym on Tuesday and Thursday this week before work. So we are going to talk at length today about planning and its importance to decipher the difference between hope and action. So saying that I hope to meal plan or that I'm going to do my best just isn't quite specific enough and leaves a lot to chance. And so the reason why B is the answer is because the key is to specify how and when. When we don't have a plan in place, we're not prepared to manage those barriers that lie ahead of us. So having that plan can break down any task, no matter how daunting, into measurable and achievable results. It can even decrease procrastination. So we can plan our meals, plan our grocery lists, and even create opportunities for exercise. When these things aren't planned, though, it opens that door to making decisions that don't align with our goals. So think back for a moment. What has stopped your intentions from becoming a reality in the past? Do you feel like your schedule's too hectic to plan out meals? Maybe you eat out a lot or you travel often, and this halts your progress. So take a moment to think about what some of those barriers are to achieving healthy habits. Identifying the obstacles is the first step to creating an effective plan. So let's get started talking about strategies. First, let's start in the kitchen. So, how can you stage it for success in order to make up your daily meal and snack planning, make it easier, and follow through with it? Clean out your kitchen cabinets, clean out the fridge to make those healthy choices less challenging for you. Remove any foods you feel uncontrolled around, or maybe you place them in an inconvenient part of the kitchen. Who works in an office? What about planning your lunch the night before? That makes it easier in the morning when you have less time. Or who works at home? I know I do. It's really easy to go into the kitchen and maybe nibble on snacks that are laying around. Or when you're really busy, grabbing whatever is available in the fridge, because like I said, you're just too busy to build that balanced lunch. So instead, how about you try to pack your lunch or pack the snacks like you would if you were actually going into the office? That way, if you have a lot going on that day at work, you can just grab and go because it's already prepped. When you get home from the grocery store, try cutting up those fruits and veggies to make sure that it's a quick, easy grab and go again. Clean it, cut it, put it into a container. Easy peasy, right? And then lastly, write out that plan for the week. Post it where everybody can see it, so there's no excuses. And get your family involved, get your kids involved, your spouse involved. Maybe you have a roommate. Everybody can help plan and stay on track meal-wise for the week. Now, let's consider another situation. When you go out to eat, do you usually overindulge? If the answer is yes, you won't be alone. Use those experiences as a time to learn and plan for the future. So let's start with talking about eating out at a restaurant. Review the menu ahead of time before you go. Plan to skip the bread basket, skip the chips at the start of the meal. Or maybe you ask the waitress to not even bring it to the table to reduce temptation. Ask for a to-go container when your entree gets to the table. When the food is out of sight, it's out of mind, and it helps reduce that temptation to overindulge. Who loves dessert? Because I do, for sure. And it's okay to eat, but maybe you split the dessert with the table. That way you're getting what you have a taste for, but you're still achieving your overall goals. And then who are you going to dinner with? Are they going to be pushing a lot of different foods and appetizers, desserts, drinks? Planning for some verbal responses ahead of time really can help. So example, you could say, I really do love whatever that appetizer is, but I'm feeling more in the mood for my salad before my meal comes out, and I want to save room for that. So it's harder for people to object what you're actually in the mood for. And so in all of these situations, if you plan those healthy decisions ahead of time, it makes it way easier to make those decisions in a challenging environment. Parties. Office parties, backyard barbecues, social events, holidays are coming up. While we can't always plan the menu, we can plan the response to it. So plan to fill half your plate with veggies. So then the other half, you can enjoy, certain certain items, certain luxuries, right? Certain things you don't always get access to. If you find that you're still hungry after that first plate, maybe you go back and have some more non-starchy veggies to help with that satisfying or help with that remaining hunger. This is one of the biggest tricks I would say, at least that helps me. Next, having and choosing that one thing that you cannot live without food-wise, or maybe it's drink-wise, at the party. Give yourself that planned permission to enjoy that special treat in moderation and not feel guilty about it. Eat it, enjoy it. And be sure to socialize with those around you. This helps reduce mindless snacking, but do it away from the food table. All right, fitness. What's your blueprint? What tends to keep you from being active or exercising? Intimidation, fatigue, self-esteem, injury, the weather. What's your biggest barrier? By addressing these obstacles with a plan, you're better set up for success. So exercise or physical activity doesn't happen in our busy lives unless we do plan for it. So let's talk about strategies now. So next time, planning, scheduling exercise. Schedule it just like you would if you were going to a doctor's appointment, or you were making plans with a friend, or maybe even treat it like a work meeting. Hopefully you're not missing those. Who uses a calendar to stay organized for those meetings or appointments? For me personally, if it's not on my calendar, it doesn't exist. So mark the exercise on the calendar and don't cancel it. Protect that time. Now, I know things do come up. So if you have to cancel it, instead find that time to reschedule it. So maybe you plan to do some exercise in the morning, but you overslept or you had to get the kids to school earlier than normal. Reschedule that walk for your lunch break, or maybe you do it as a family after work. What about alarms? They can be helpful for reminding you. You need to make a plan to reduce that sedentary time. So certain fitness trackers. I know I have one, and it's going to alert me if I'm sitting for too long. So it's just like that reminder to get up and move a little bit. Recruit others, friends, coworkers, family, maybe even a pet. I know my dogs earlier were begging me for a walk. They can all be great accountability partners. Or maybe you'd prefer to do it on your own, which is perfectly fine. Download that podcast that you have been putting off listening to. Watch a TV show, maybe while you're on the treadmill at the gym to make it go faster or keep you entertained. Make an energizing playlist that you look forward to. Remember though, start slow. So if you're doing 0 days of exercise and you plan to do it every day for the next month, probably not realistic. So start slow and increase as it becomes more of a habit. Starting small is better than not starting at all. So look at your day. What activities do you already do on a daily basis? And you maybe walk during that work meeting or that phone call. And you get up during commercial breaks and do some type of mini exercise or even walking in place. So just like nutrition, we need to have a plan for movement. Where are the workout clothes? Are they stuffed in the back of the closet where you never see them? Put them where you actually will see them. Put the shoes next to the front door. Put your clothes on top of your dresser so you see them when you wake up. This all keeps it front of your mind. Maybe you're working out after work. So put a bag of clothes in the car. So then that way you won't need to go home and change first. Go straight from work to the gym. Or this is my favorite. I love buying new workout clothes or even better, new shoes. So maybe consider that if budget allows. This can help build that motivation and excitement around exercise. So now that we've talked about a couple of key strategies around nutrition and fitness, we're going to dive into how to build SMART goals and what they are, what they even are, right? So these SMART goals and what it represents is a framework for setting clear and attainable and effective plans. So S stands for specific. So this means that your goals will be well-defined and precise. M is measurable. So this implies that your goals should have concrete criteria for success. So you should be able to track your progress and know when you've reached your goal. A and R are very similar. So A is attainable. Your goal should be realistic and within your reach. And so it's really good to dream big, but we want to make sure that it's possible. R is realistic. So your goals should be based on your current circumstances. What kind of resources are actually available to you right now? And what are your current capabilities? And then lastly is T, time bound. So goals should have a defined time frame. This creates that sense of urgency to help you prioritize and manage your efforts effectively. So SMART goals are that framework that help guide us towards greater success. They provide that clarity, that direction, that roadmap to turn your dreams or goals into reality. So remember, SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. So time for poll question number 2, we are going to identify that SMART goal. So I will launch it in a sec, but A is I will go to the gym this week. B, I'm going to eat half my plate veggies. And C, I'm going to walk Monday and Wednesday on my lunch break for 2 weeks for at least 10 minutes. So I'm going to launch poll question 2. And go ahead and put your results in, or your answers in. Looking good so far. Okay, I'm going to end it. Share results. Everybody's so stinking smart. The answer is C. I will walk Monday and Wednesday on my lunch break for 2 weeks for at least 10 minutes. And the reason that that is the answer, even though you all got it right, was because it is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. All right, last question. I promise for the day. I'll launch it here in a second. So if plans don't go as expected, what do you usually do? You have a plan B and do what works with your schedule today? Do you say forget it and quit all workouts planned for the week? Or do you revamp your entire workout routine? So go ahead, I launched the poll. The A, B, or C? Like everyone answered, looks. So I gotta go back. Sorry, guys. So I would pick option A, have a plan B. So even if plans don't go as well as you would have hoped, having that plan B can be just as important to help you follow through. So even with the best plans in place, we still need to follow through. So that is what we're going to talk about next. So there's a couple of strategies here to help with follow through. So strategy 1, have that plan B, like we just talked about, right? In that poll question. So when life doesn't go according to plan, as it often doesn't, our healthy goals don't need to be compromised. Always remember, there are still things that you can do. So if you aren't in charge of the menu, can you focus maybe on portion control instead? For workouts, can you focus on intensity rather than longer duration? For meals, can you maybe purchase pre-washed veggies or pre-prepped foods, pre-prepared foods at the grocery store? And that will then save on time at home. Strategy 2, expect the resistance. Kind of a strategy. I want you to know that resistance is totally normal. So even when we do create plans, that doesn't ensure that it's going to be easy to follow through. So expect the times that motivation are going to be super low, or maybe your schedule works against you. And this is where planning ahead can be really, really, really helpful. So the things that we've planned serve as that reminder, right? Like the healthy snacks that are in the fridge already prepped, or the shoes by the door. These strategies trigger that mind to consider these options even during those difficult times when your mind is preoccupied with other things. What are your motivators? Are your goals or reasons why posted? Are they where you can see them frequently? It can then help you, if they are, it can help remind you like why you want to build these healthy new habits. So try posting those motivators in your mirror. Maybe they're even, in your car somewhere. Or try setting your passwords for your computer or your phone to reflect your goals. So that's setting you up for success and for follow through. We type in passwords every single day, right? I've already typed in my password a million times today, right? To help keep your goals in the front of your mind, maybe you change your password to produce or walk or something that reflects what your goal is that you have in mind. Who knows? It could help. So today we've talked a lot about different strategies to help with planning and following through with those plans. So let's take a moment to think about which ones can you implement easily. Remember, progress, not perfection. So keep up those great efforts. I know you guys are all working towards healthy, sustainable goals. So, time for Q&A. So, I don't see any questions being asked. Oh, I do see one. I lied. It just popped in. Do you have any recommendations for snacks to pack in advance for the day? Yes, I do. So, okay, easy snacks, right? To pack ahead of time. We talked about earlier, right? Like cutting up those fruits and veggies. So like I went to the grocery store on Monday. So as soon as I got home, I, cut up my strawberries. I had some blackberries. I washed them up, threw them into a container. That's an easy grab and go, right? They're all portion sized out. Maybe you even buy like prepackaged nuts. You can either do that yourself, right? Buy the big bag that's more probably budget friendly or cost conscious, or you could buy the snack packs, right? And those are easy, grab and go snacks that you can have available. What are other snacks? Having like portioned out or the individual cups of yogurt or string cheese. Things all along those lines are easy snacks that you can have prepped and ready to eat. Any other questions? Don't be shy, everyone. Give you another couple of seconds here. Oh, okay. Another question popped up. What are some good workouts to do that don't require a gym membership? Great question. The first one that comes to my mind, right? Walking, right? Whether I know the weather's turning in some areas, so depending on where you are, there are some, barriers there, but walking outside are good exercises that you can do without a gym membership. Going on YouTube, right? Tons of free workouts there. There's an app actually called My Fitness or Nike Training Club, actually. That one I love. Nike Training Club gives you a wide variety of different exercises with weights, without weights, by using just kind of your body weight for resistance. And they range from, 5-minute exercises to an hour exercises. You could do that. Maybe your community that you live in, maybe they have a pool, right? Or a rec center. I know I used to live in a condo, and for free, that was something that was available. So lots of great options. Got some more questions coming in. Are there any fruits to avoid? Great question. So I get this question a lot for diabetes management. No, all foods can fit in. I know there's a lot of controversy and a lot of myths and things that you probably hear from various sources, but all foods can fit into whether you have diabetes or any other chronic condition. It's really about portion sizes, specifically when you're talking about diabetes. But I usually say, when we teach about portion control during one-on-ones, but really all foods can fit, and try to get a range of colors, right? Because you get different nutrients from different colors. So long answer for that question, but the answer is no. You can eat whatever kind of fruit that you want to. Next question. I want to do all your recommendations, but I'm struggling to find the motivation. I'm so tired when I get home. Do you have any tips to get over that hump? Great question. And I hear this a lot, and it's something that's very true and very real, right? We have a long day of work, whether it's a commute or just a stressful job. And it's like, I'm so tired. I just don't want to do it. Where is that motivation? So that truly goes back to what are you willing to do right now, right? And what is your why? Why is this important to you? So fatigue can be due to multiple things. So I'm not going to get into that necessarily right now, but what I would recommend is maybe doing an exercises or physical activity after work doesn't work for you because you're so tired. But maybe you can fit in 15 minutes before work or something on your lunch break to go do a quick walk. Find something that you're willing to do, you want to do, and then also identifying why is this important to you to really help with that motivation, right? When we don't really know why we're doing these things, it's easy to make those excuses and procrastinate. But becoming really, really, really clear onto why this is important is something that I always start with in my sessions. And then we talk about what's going to fit and what do you want to do in your life, or what can you do what can you actually fit in. So hopefully that answers that question. Great questions, guys. Keep them coming. I've been doing really well just about every day and using the recipes on Season Health. Oh, good. They are really good ones, aren't they? I'd love to know your favorite one, so put it in the chat. This weekend from Friday to Sunday, I didn't make healthy choices. I heard you said something along the lines, progression, not perfection. What would you mind repeating what that phrase was? Yes, pretty much you nailed it there. Nobody is going to be perfect every single day, right? Not even myself as a dietitian. There are going to be days where, hey, my schedule doesn't go as planned, or, there's this event going on, right? And I want to, have maybe a little bit different foods than I typically eat. And that's okay, right? Nobody's perfect. The idea behind all of this isn't eating 100%, fruits and veggies and protein all day, every day, right? I want you to enjoy those special treats. So again, what I said was progress, not perfection. So cool. Hopefully that answered that one. And it's okay to eat before going to bed. Of course. Yes, lots of food myths out there, right? I would want to know kind of like, what are you eating before bed? But yeah, if you're hungry, if you have those hunger cues, we didn't get into that. I know that was addressed in a different webinar earlier in the year, but if you're hungry and you're craving a snack, go for it. That is not going to hinder your progress or hinder your goals by any means. Now, we could get more in depth, right? What are you having? Are you eating enough during the day? All of that. But short answer is yes, you can eat before you go to bed. How important is water for my health? How much should I be drinking? So, water is very important, right? Sometimes when we think we're hungry, we're actually just thirsty. So that's a huge thing that we talk about during sessions, right? Identifying kind of some of those cues, hunger cues. But water is really, really important for you. I typically say drinking at least 64 ounces, but again, this can vary depending on your activity levels. Are you working outside? What are you doing during the day? So I would say at a minimum, try for 64 ounces. But if you're drinking 16 ounces, right, maybe you can only fit in 32 and you slowly progress up. So making those realistic and attainable goals is going to be key there. Right? Oh, this is great. Keep coming in. Thank you. Progress, not perfection. Favorite food on Season Health is the potato soup. And I love that one. And the black bean tostadas. I haven't tried the potato soup yet, but one of the other dietitians said it was really good. I will put it on my next order. Thank you. All right, looks like two more. When you change your eating habits to a good degree, and yet the weight doesn't seem to change, what other physical, mental changes should I look for to feel as though this is working? Oh, such a great question here, right? The weight, the scale is such a tricky thing. So I'm glad that you're asking about other areas of success that you can look for. Okay. So one, how are you feeling? Right? Do you have a little bit more energy because, you're getting those nutrients, those vitamins, those minerals that you need? Maybe your clothes are fitting better, right? Like that's a huge one, right? Maybe that the shirt's fitting a little looser, your pants, you have an extra, you have to put an extra notch in the belt, right? So looking to see, how is your clothes fitting? How are you feeling? Hunger cues, right? Are you feeling more satiated and satisfied during the day? I would say all of those are great things to look for and, being aware of. Even sleep, right? Are you sleeping better? That could be a huge one too. So yeah, well, great question. And then last one I have here, I'm having a challenge finding a dietitian that takes my insurance. Blue Cross Blue Shield PPO. Do you have any recommendations or advice? And if not, that's okay. I thought I'd ask. So, I don't have all of the specifics of your plan, but, season going, I don't know if you're on the season platform or not, because there's different ways that people sign up for this webinar. So number one, if you haven't signed up, going to seasonhealth.com, get started. I would recommend doing that first, seeing if we take your insurance or going to take your insurance. That would be number one. And then number two would be, they don't accept it yet. Okay. So, in the meantime, we do have cash pay options. Okay. So that is a potential option. If you are not wanting to have that financial commitment or can't do that financial commitment at the moment, maybe call Blue Cross Blue Shield and ask for an in-network dietitian. There's some telehealth options, maybe the local hospital, maybe some of them are in network, but that's typically where I would start. And then last night I made the garlic lemon shrimp with rice. It was tasty and quick to make. Good. All good recipes. And I have tried that one and it is super yummy. All right. Okay. Any other questions? Gosh, such great questions you guys asked today. Nope, doesn't look like it. So, I just want to say thank you for joining today. Hopefully, everyone took something away from today's webinar. And I briefly mentioned it before, but if you are not already enrolled in Season, or maybe have family members or friends who's looking for a dietitian or looking for healthy recipes, or who's just interested in general and getting started, please, please, please go to seasonhealth.com. If you click Get Started, you can sign up there. So with that, again, thank you. Thank you for joining. If there's anything that I can do for you, reach out, and I look forward to potentially meeting some of you in session. All right. Have a great day, everyone.